Hello, once again, welcome to the Law Professor channel. In this video, we shall be looking at the defenses available to a claim in vicarious liability, the defenses to a claim in vicarious liability against the employer. And the learning outcome is very simple, to be just able to appreciate those defenses and apply them in relevant situations. Defenses. The essence of having defenses in every course of action, of course, is to show that liability is not absolute. It's not absolute. So even when you have strict liability torts, you know that you have defenses to them. So these defenses to in vicarious liability emanate from the nature of the liability itself. One of the defenses that a defendant could say, maybe the employer, say that the servant was not in the course of employment. We know that as a basic component of the principle of vicarious liability, the person must be in the course of employment. If he was not working for you, then you cannot be responsible for him. And it doesn't mean that because somebody is employed by you, it means that 24/7, whatever they are doing is liable. No, the person must be said to be in the course of employment. And sometimes where you have somebody that is no longer working for you, you would say that the person, though was your employee before, no longer works for you. And that is why you have situations where employers publish disclaimer of a work relationship between them and a former employee, so that they will not go ahead and be representing that they are still the employees of the employer. So once you have been able to successfully do that, then you would also be able to raise that as a disclaimer. You could also say that the person was not a servant or employee, because vicarious liability is about holding the employer liable for the tort of the servant, and the servant-master relationship could come about in many kinds of relationship, like work employment, a relationship like agency. So if you argue that this person was not a servant but an independent contractor and does not fall within the exceptions to the independent contractor, then the employer could also avoid vicarious liability. You could say that it was not the act of your employee, that your employee was not the one. It was in the course of employment, but what happened was not done by your employee, but was not done by your servant. So it could be act of a stranger, it could be act of a third party, it could be an act of God. You know, we are familiar with defenses of act of God, natural occurrence, which is not the fault of anybody. In such cases, these are some of the defenses that a master raise when his master is being joined into a liability claim on the basis that he or she or it's vicariously liable for the tort of its servants. So if any of these defenses emerge, then the principle of vicarious liability would not be applicable, so to say. So in an exam condition, in a real life condition, therefore, look out for some of these aspects of the principle of vicarious liability as possible defenses to the claim. If that happens, then what happens in reality is that although the primary tortfeasor still remains primarily liable, but you will not be able to join the master as a party to that action. And that would mean that if that primary tortfeasor is a person of straw, it's not a person of timber and caliber, it has no money to satisfy the judgment debt, then it might be a very bad judgment, you know, debt in terms of being able to recoup your losses, so to say. So these are the reasons why it is encouraged that some aspects of life are insured. So these defenses will assist you in analyzing any typical vicarious liability. I'll see you at the next presentation. We shall be dealing with the remedies or damages applicable.